What's up, guys? Oh god, I can hear myself talking. I gotta turn that off or I'm gonna go crazy and I don't know what's going on, everybody. There we go. What are you guys doing in the chat? Ben Lawton says, anyone else see the Force version 2 teaser today? Yeah, I literally just saw it like 20 minutes ago. And I was like, I don't know if I can actually include this in the live stream because there's not really enough time for me to play it. But I saw it earlier. It looks pretty much like a Force. If anybody, I don't know, has listened to me, we'll say kind of recently talk about the Force. We kind of got word of that thing a little bit ago. And it's kind of going to be the exact same gun. It's just going to have different milling. And then also come with every single updated part that they've come out with for the Force. They've just changed a couple things around these past like 2 years or so. They changed the material. There was a brass piece inside there that's now aluminum. But I'm pretty sure it's just going to be like, you know, a Force with just updated milling, we're going to say. And I don't know what happened earlier. This was like working fine, and then I came to sit down here. And I don't know. I'm having problems with like audio and stuff. So let me loop that music that I have on in the background. But anyway, how is everybody? And where's everybody at? Where you at? We got some paintball guns we can talk about, but I want to know where everyone's at. Ben, you were on vacation? That sounds nice, though, you know. You can miss the live stream if you're on vacation, but only if you're on vacation. Portugal in Lisbon. I don't even know how to pronounce that name, but I appreciate you coming. I'm a stupid American. From Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, Boston, Sacramento. That's not very fun, Ray. Boston again. Los Angeles. All right. The Caribbean. That's just crazy. I'd rather be in the Caribbean. Where, let's see here. What can we talk about? So we're going to talk about today, Shocker came out with their new Shocker. The Shocker Era. We can talk about World Cup. There's the 180R from HK Army going to come out pretty soon. There are brand new TWSTR CS3s and LV2s. HK Army put out like some cool, like, videos of them playing with their like nightball setups, playing with those like new ultraviolet paintballs they have, their glow-in-the-dark paintballs. They go with that Sonic hopper that's also UV. Oh yeah, I'm out of breath. Let's just talk about this while we're doing it. While I'm thinking about it, it's at the very top of our list. The new Shocker Era. They've changed quite a bit on this thing. While some of you Shocker fans out there, it kind of looks similar to the Shocker, which is good. I mean, one of the things that people really like about these guns is that they're small, right? They're very lightweight. A lot of people like that smaller foregrip. Some people don't, though. I don't like that smaller foregrip. It's got a very slim frame, but this time around, they actually made it slightly larger. So that trigger frame and front foregrip are going to be just a smidge bigger. So they're going to fit in your hand a little bit better. And we can see also on these pictures that the new grips and that new front grip are a different material this time around. But previously they were rubber, but they were really hard. So it wasn't like you were getting much grip out of that rubber. It was more like a hard plastic. And now they've just made them quite a bit softer and maybe a little bit more grippier material. They've also redesigned that back cap. I guess I'll talk about it when I see on the pictures. They've redesigned the back cap so it's just way, way slimmer. And one of the previous problems that the Shockers had was putting the eyes back in was kind of annoying. Because they're like a ribbon eye, as soon as you take that eye cover off, they tended to pop up, and it was kind of difficult to get them to seat and put the eye cover back on. So now you can see where that O-ring is at. that O-ring actually kind of just slots into place. It fits in like a groove, and you put the O-ring in, and that just kind of helps keep that eye board in place so it doesn't pop out as easy or pop out at all. So just putting those eye covers back on makes it easier to just put those eye covers back on. I forgot this pictures weren't going here. And yeah, you can just see the grips right there, how they're a little bit more like dimply or whatever, so they look a little bit softer. They've redesigned that trigger. It's now coming with obviously the different shaped trigger, but that's not a huge problem. One of the things that a lot of people can do or had problems with, I would say new paintball gun owners specifically, was you could actually adjust this trigger so far back and pull it really hard, and you can actually break off the micro switch from the board. So now they've actually added a post inside of there or a piece of metal that's going to stop you from over adjusting that trigger. They've redesigned the inline regulator, that high pressure regulator, just slightly. Most of the internal parts are apparently the same. They've just changed, we're going to say, internal routing or routing of where that air goes. And I was talking about the eyes. They've actually changed up, I don't think we have pictures of it, but they've changed the actual way that the eye wires are going from the board, or I should say that like sensor to the eyes. You can't crimp the eye wire or smash the eye wire as easily now, which is good. And they're also going to be more money. So now these are $9.95 versus the original price of the Shocker amp was $8.99. So we're seeing about a $100 price increase, which is, you know, expected really. I mean, inflation's gotten crazy, and we've seen all these manufacturers raise their prices. Some of the Planet Eclipse guns have increased hundreds of dollars. So at least we're not getting like a $300 price increase, and it's not $1,100 like the 180R. It's still under that $1,000 price. Yeah, at $9.95. It's going to come with the new, here's all the colors of them. It's going to come with the Freak XL version 2 barrel, which is just a Freak XL, which just looks a little different on the outside. Maybe that milling's going to match the gun a little bit more. You can see on the gun, they've kind of got this like crosshatch, like, I don't know, lines or whatever, and that's kind of going to match the barrel a little bit. And yeah, it's going to be about the same length. I think picking it up, most Shocker owners, or if you've held the amp previously, or even the XLS, it's going to feel very, very similar in your hands. So even though it's a little bigger technically on the foregrip and that trigger frame, the overall length and that feel, you know, should still feel like a Shocker. The Bolt, we don't know all that much about yet, though, because they aren't really allowed to talk about these a lot yet. They're going to wait until World Cup until they start really discussing what the Bolt is. But there are some upgrades to that Bolt. Apparently, it's got faster bolt speed, so the cycling's going to be a little bit quicker, which is definitely good when they release that mechanical frame for this, which they will have. But that faster cycle rate for the mechanical guns, looking for my water, but it's out there. The faster cycle rate for those mechanical guns is good. It makes it harder to short stroke, and you just have less shooting and feeding problems if they can increase that cycle rate. Apparently air efficiency is going to be the same. Air efficiency is not going to improve, but apparently it's going to be easier on brittle paint. So it's a little bit easier on paint, and they increase that cycle rate. And I really like the thing. Like, I really think it looks cool. In the past, I wasn't really a fan of the Shockers, like the amp and the XLS, but I really do like the way these look. I like that really clean, simple body design. We talked about the N4, the Nova N4, which I guess I deleted all the pictures of. The Nova N4, and that new Nova looks kind of similar to that too, how it's just like a tube of aluminum. I really like it. It's kind of reminiscent to that Shocker SFT. the original, well, not say the original, one of the older shockers that came out in the early 2000s. And I really like it. I think that maybe having that simpler body is going to leave them a little bit more room to maybe experiment and do just kind of more interesting things. I mean, one of the things that was really neat about the shockers in the past was just, you know, how many custom guns they had. I mean, every team had a gun, right? Where we saw Dynasty guns, there were Strange guns, there were Russian Legion guns, there was that Octane shocker that was really popular, the G-Max shocker. There were many of these kind of private label or custom version shockers. So hopefully, you know, hopefully they kind of do that more going forward. You know, maybe we see an AC Diesel, yeah, custom shocker, or whatever other teams use shockers. I can't tell you right now. I was going to say Seattle Thunder, but they're not really a team anymore. So maybe the Bears use shockers? I don't know. Let me know in the chat room. Let me know in the chat which pro teams are currently using shockers. Mark, with that super chat, I missed you, buddy. I appreciate it. I was looking if my light was on. And I'm with you. If you guys are liking these videos, if I just entertained anybody or you found out any information, you know, like these videos. It's very helpful when people really do like things. I know it's kind of like a cheesy thing to say, you know, like and subscribe. But it really does help. That's really why people say it, you know, because it's actually a thing. We have AC Diesel. Who else? Who else is using shockers? I really don't know. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't even tell you. AC Diesel? Anyone else? No one's saying anything. So I guess we're going to go with that. The shocker era. Yeah, hopefully I have one of those things fairly soon. And then we can do like a video and stuff on it. I'm not entirely sure when though. Because I know they're supposed to have a bunch of them at World Cup, but I'm not sure if they're going to have like heaps of them available for sale. Okay, there's the Bears. We got the Bears. We're sure about the Bears? I can't think of anyone else. I don't know. So hopefully we get that thing soon and we can, like, you know, compare it to the AMP, compare it to the XLS. And what the hell did they call the first one? The first, like, new one. Why am I blanking on the name of it? The Shocker RSX. They've had like 4 of them now. That's right. Seattle Thunder, but Thunder's like gone and they turned into the Bears. I really like it. I think it's freaking cool. And I'm a bit of a fan. Street Fighters are shooting shockers. What else happened? We'll talk about twisters. Let's do this. Let me click that. Let me click this. Let me click over here. Let me click this. We're setting up. Okay, guys. Hold on, sorry.
So this is huge. And I mean, so this is it.
Bear with me.
So, you know,
is that the button I want to hit? That's the button I want to hit. So coming up in 2 weeks, not 2 weeks, it's like a week and a half. Really 1 week exactly. Coming up is going to be, I'm going to turn that down just a smidge, is the NXL World Cup. And I'm here to tell everybody about the live stream that the NXL's doing. So one of the things that, you know, I think a lot of us complain about. Oh, look, Carl Markowski's really upset there. We'll say maybe not think people complain about. One of the things that's kind of unfortunate for paintball is that, like, you know, the pro field, we want to watch paintball, and one of the ways to help grow this thing is going to be people actually watching. And unfortunately, they put the professional league, the pro league, the NXL, puts it behind Go Sports and behind that paywall. But this weekend, this coming weekend, Thursday the 9th through Sunday the 12th, you can watch all of the semi-pro and the WNXL teams play over on the Major League Paintball YouTube channel. So I definitely go over there, subscribe to it, maybe put your notifications on so you're actually notified when they go live. There's a link in the description. You can just click that link and it'll take you right over there. Do subscribe. It'll probably be a fun tournament. One of the things I think that's going to be kind of fun to watch for is there's a lot of let me take my headphones off. Not a lot. But there's been like this crazy rivalry in the semi-pro division. We have two teams. We have Blast Camp and PB Fit kind of fighting it out to see who's that best semi-pro team. And it's kind of wild. So we've had PB Fit won 4 tournaments this year. And then second place, Blast Camp, they've gotten second place 4 times. So every single tournament this year, PB Fit have beat Blast Camp in the finals. It's kind of crazy. So it's kind of neat to be able to watch, these semi-pro teams. There's a lot of current, or maybe not current pros, but pros that played a few years ago. Like we just saw Karl Markowski. Right now in the announcing booth, Nick Sloviak and Anthony, god damn it, Vitali, the actual owner of Boston Paintball. He owns Committed. They're doing all that Twister stuff. So it's cool to have like professionals kind of announcing in that booth. And then also there's pros on some of these teams that we've kind of seen over the years. But I really like it, right? I mean, we're watching Blast Camp and the Killers right now. 2 of the better teams in the semi-pro division. And at some point, it's possible they could be professional. So we're actually getting like a sneak peek into maybe some of the new pro teams. And then getting an idea maybe of how they could stack up against the current, oh my gosh. Am I on this window? Too many windows open. Maybe like get a look at how they're going to do against those pro teams. And it's really neat. They actually have stats and stuff, which I thought was really cool. I mean, I don't even think Go Sports is doing this. So even on like the big Go Sports stream, they're not doing stats like that. So it's really cool to see just, kind of basic statistics, but really just kind of cool. It kind of shows you right there that Blast Camp, they are a better team than the Killers. They've just won more matches. They're higher in the rankings and all kinds of stuff. The semi-pro division actually has 32 teams signed up, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. I see a super chat, Eric. We'll get to you, buddy. I love it. The hell was I saying? Yeah, there's 32 teams signed up, which is kind of crazy if you think about it, right? I mean, that's a lot of goddamn semi-pro teams. And they're all very, very, very good. Even the lower teams that are getting last place, I can't imagine being that good. We have teams from all over the world. We have 3 French teams, which with some interesting team names. I mean, the French teams have the team name Scalps, like you scalped someone, like Native Americans. They also have the Indians and Jobar. I don't know that team name. I'm not familiar with Jobar. We have 3 French teams that are suiting up. The Manitois Titans from New Zealand are playing, and then the Royal City Sea Dogs. They're from Canada, but they've been playing the semi-pro division for quite a long time. Royal City Sea Dogs. And then at the same time, on the same field and the same webcast, we're going to get the WNXL. So for the first half of the day, it's going to be all semi-pro. And then the second half of the day, it should be the WNXL. WNXL has 12 teams. And then also a bunch of people from not America. The Belladonnas are playing from Germany. We have Darkina, I believe, from Denmark. Karma from Spain. Northern Lights we've seen from Canada. And the Sicarios, I'm sorry, from Colombia. I really like the WNXL. I think that for too long, this whole thing was just filled up with just a bunch of dudes. So it's really great to see actual women at the paintball fields. I think it provides a better atmosphere and, just more interesting. And it's like this whole untapped market that we've not really explored. So it's really cool to see just more women playing. There's two really good teams that are in the WNXL, the Heroines and Destiny. And they both kind of switched spots. I mean, at the Sunshine Open, the first event of the year, the Heroines got second, and then they got first at the Windy City Open. And then Destiny actually got first at the first event, and then third at the Windy City Open. And so they're tied right now for the series rankings. So going into this, it's going to matter very much who wins that series title, and just kind of how they end up placing. I didn't have this playing. I should have had this kind of playing on here. So webcast is really good. You know, I mean, they've got a bunch of cameras. I think there's 8 cameras in total. You know, so they've got Dorito side cameras, they got the snake cameras, they got the corners, they got all kinds of stuff covered. There's a roaming person for interviews. It's really good, and it's free. I mean, you know, Go Sports, you got to pay every time you want to watch it, and they're just putting this straight up on YouTube. So at the Major League Paintball YouTube channel, you can just watch all these. You can go back and watch old tournaments. This is an old one. But there's all kinds of stuff, you know. They got all the old events on here and everything. You know, one of the things I like about this is that they're doing a lot of interviews, right? You get to see Ryan Moorhead interview, but I really like the insider industry ones. There's Dan Shelley, the guy who wrote that cool Dynasty books on there. So I would just go subscribe, Major League Paintball, and then you can actually watch Paintball in a couple days here. Really in 7 days they're going to start this tournament. So yep, go check it out, guys. I will certainly be watching. The only thing I think that literally the only thing I think Go Sports does a little bit better is on the back end zones, you know, it's just it's just net. And I really like how Go Sports kind of blocks off the sides so you can kind of see. It makes the sight lines a little easier. It makes it easier to differentiate where stuff's at, so you can't just see straight across the field, if that makes any sense. That might not have made any sense. Yep, it's great stuff. What am I doing? I'm whatever, losing my mind here. NXL, yep. And then I guess along with that, we could talk about the NXL. Actually, hold on, I got super chats. We gotta talk about those people. Eric, like always, dude. Sacramento Street Fighters 916. Like, subscribe, share, and buy some merch and super chats if you can. I'm about it, dude. I'm about it. Like I said, man, liking these videos is kind of like a lame thing for me to say. That's why you don't hear me being like and subscribe, everybody. I just feel weird saying it. But it really does help. I mean, it really is so much. It really does help so much. Comp Paintball with a $10 even. Hopefully your name shows up in this super chat thing at the bottom. Yes, it does. Love all of this. I do too. Thank you. Brad is gate. That's like gay and great. Brad is great. Give this guy a like and subscribe. I'm with you on that. Most of you are probably subscribed, but you could definitely like the thing. I'm with you. The new format is showcasing on Wednesday at Cup. Hope they showed on Go Sports. Yeah, Tyler, I'm not really sure. I was curious about that. And one of the things I thought was weird is there's no schedule up yet, really. There's only a pro schedule. And apparently, I think it was Blast Camp and PB Fit are going to play on Saturday on the, pro field. I don't know. I saw that in there. I don't know. Yep. What was I going to talk about? We're talking about Guns Up. We're going to go to the Guns Up website, and we're going to look at the layout. So I haven't really looked. Oh, am I not logged in? God damn it. I thought I logged in. I am logged in. What is going on here? It says loading layout. What do I have There we go. So I haven't really looked at this yet. So we're going to look at some top-down views. And I'm actually going to go... Can I do real full screen with this thing? There we go. Let's just look at the layout. I literally have not like thought about this. I like skimmed through this really fast, but I didn't really think about it at all. You know, that's kind of crazy. This side's kind of wild right here. That's kind of nuts, huh? Let's, I want that one. Is there a corner, or am I blocking the corner of my head? There's a snake corner, right? Yeah, there is. So there's a little baby cake right there. I don't know. It just kind of looks normal, right? I mean, you know, I really want to see like crazy, crazy layouts. And I don't know if we're really seeing that. I mean, I think that the Dorito side is kind of wild with that brick, the little bricks, and then the huge brick kind of on the inside a little bit. That's kind of crazy. And you know, one of these things about the snake too is they do this, they don't do it often, we'll say, but one of the things that we kind of see, that's just flipped around. I want to find like a good snake shot. There we go. One of the things they kind of do, we see sometimes, my mouse is lost. I hate this, like, there we go. One of the things they do sometimes is add these like wings right there. I guess somebody might go to that. But they put this like wing there, they put that big brick there. No one's probably going to go to these. All that's really doing is kind of like blocking off, you know, so this corner can be there so that you can't shoot the snake guy actually. Because if you're in this corner, like looking here, those big bricks are going to be in the way. So it feels like they're just kind of like blockers for the corner guy. But I feel like no one's probably going to play these things. If I was playing, here's what I'd probably do. This is what I'd do. I'd probably be like, and just shoot a bunch right here, but that's kind of lame. I'd really like to go to that. Because I can go to this thing, and then, like, that's about how tall I am off it. So it makes it, I can pretty much shoot the snake really easily. I mean, I can't really easily, but I can put a lot of paint in there. So I'd probably end up at that personally. And then probably go here. Oh, there we go. That's like laying down though. What's in that one? This probably is not very exciting. NXL World Cup layout. That's all we're talking about. Yep. And then maybe, you know, next weekend or next live stream next Thursday, I'll do like predictions and stuff. I'm gonna I'll think about it a little bit more and try to like have some predictions ready for, I don't know, who I think's gonna win, and maybe like some good matches we can watch and kind of be, you know, a little bit ready for. That reminds me, I need to do that before Sunday. There you go, Ben. That's correct, Anthony. The Major League Paintball YouTube channel for semi-pro and WNXL live stream. Yep. Pretty much. Yep. I don't know if it's only going to be WNXL and semi-pro, but it's like 99% that. They might like, you know, throw a couple of divisional sets in there every once in a while. Thomas, hello, said, I just ordered a mini GS hoping to get my license and start playing more. Like your driver's license? Not your paintball gun license, right? It makes it a little bit hard if you don't have a license. You can't drive yourself to the field, and you gotta get a lift every time. You gotta get parents to take you or have someone pick you up. How much does it cost to watch Go Sports? You know, I don't really know. I think it's $12 a month, or maybe it's $20 a month. I really don't know. I've forgotten. We're going to close that. 12? How much is Go Sports? Someone tell me in the chat. 12 bucks? This thing is 12 bucks. I think it was 10, Ben, but I think they changed it to 12 a couple years ago. 15 bucks, John says. 10 bucks. I don't know. I think it's 12. I don't know. Let's go find out. Let's just do this. Oh God, we got windows going everywhere. GoSports.com. How do we find out how much it is? Can we start a trial? Oh, $10. Okay, yeah. All right, never mind. I'm definitely wrong on 12. Why did I think it was 12? What's $12 I pay for? Really? I swore it was $12. I'm gonna have to look into this. I swear I'm getting charged $12. Maybe not. What's kind of cool though is they allow you to just pause it, right? So you can like pay and then just pause it after the tournament. So is it 15? Like, what is the deal with that? Like, why am I paying $12? Maybe it's like more on certain situations. Like if I go to the Go Sports app, right? I bet it's more money because it's on iPhone. They take 30% of that. So they might actually be charging more for certain subscriptions. How can I find out, like... But I don't think they can do that. I think that, like, violates the App Store, like, policy or something like that. What the heck? How can I, like... I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's more if I do it on the, like, phone or... do it from Roku, John said, is $15. I don't know. There shouldn't be sales tax. Well, maybe there is sales tax. Are there sales tax on digital products? I don't really know. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway. We can talk about this really fast, I think. Or was I an insane person and not set it up right? God damn it. Well, let's just talk about twisters then. Twisters are back. This isn't super, like, you know, revolutionary, but there are brand new twisters. We're going to have Twister CS3s and Twister LV2s. And this is kind of just a smattering of some colors that I liked because there are 69 colors. There are literally 69 colors for each gun. So whether it's the CS3 or that LV2 right there, there are 69 individual colors. It's so many colors, it's kind of hard to keep track of, I imagine. And they're expensive. That LV2 is going to be $2,099, and the CS3 is going to be $2,150. So they're kind of on par with what we've seen recently, right? Like the HK CS3 is also $2,150, so it's the same price. But that LV2 from Twister is actually $100 more than those custom version HK guns. We've seen like the Fossil LV2 or the Fossil LV3. Man, I cannot believe I did not put... I'm going to try to talk and put all these pictures in here at the same time. Yeah. So it's cool to see these Twister guns. They sell out extremely, extremely fast. And they're not, you know, super exciting. I mean, they're not like the most revolutionary product. It is just a custom milled, you know, LV2 or CS3. But they've always been very desirable. I mean, the milling is very nice. I mean, unfortunately, these are renders and they haven't shown a complete gun. I think that they're going to start shipping next week for customers. Twister CS2s, or CS3s, I should say. I really like the solid colored guns. I really like that solid gold is super cool. I think I put a solid red one in here. I really like that brown LV2, like a doo-doo brown color. Really cool. Twister CS2s are, I keep saying CS2, Twister CS3s. And LV2, that orange is really cool too. That orange is pretty dope, I must say. And also, HK Army kind of has shown some kind of teaser pictures of a gun that looks very similar to the TWSTR LV2 and CS3, the Orbit 180R. And these are going to be shipping and should be for sale next week. I really like it. You know, I've not been a fan of a lot of the HK milling. I think in a way it looks cheaper than the Planet Eclipse guns. I don't know, something about it, just the milling is a little weird for me. So I really like the milling on these new guns. This Orbit looks really, really, really cool. I think I like it a little bit more than that TWSTR milling. I think I like it a little bit more than the TWSTR milling. The TWSTR milling's really like tight and compact. I mean, you can just look at it, right? It has so many more like, you know, little lines on it or cuts over, you know, the Orbit. And I think I like the spacing a little bit more. I like how it's at that crazier, sharper angle. I don't know, I think it really looks good. You know, they've had quite a few, HK's come out with quite a few of these guns, like the Fossil, and something about the Fossil just looks a little bit cheap. I don't know if it's like the angles of the lines or something like that, but it just looks a little bit cheaper. There's the Fossil CS3. I keep wanting to say CS2. There's that Fossil CS3. I don't know, I just think the TWSTR, or not the TWSTR, I think that the Orbit just looks a little cooler. Did they say how much the Orbit was going to be? I don't think they did yet. My guess is probably $12.95 or $13.95 to make it like $200 to $300 more than that just base 180R. I think it's smoking. I should get a mask, like the mask. Jim Carrey should get the mask filter or something. Oh, this is live? Nope, it is not. It's an illusion. The Joker colorway is cool, like the neon and purple or whatever. Brad, what do you think that Planet Eclipse will release at Cup? You know, I don't really know. I truly don't know. Like, I would be surprised if we see a gun, that's for sure. You know, the CS3 pretty much just came out. The LV2's a few years old. The 180R just came out. You know, the ETHA 3's pretty much brand new. So Planet Eclipse have released a lot of guns, but for the most part, you know, they're letting their guns sit a little bit longer. So like the 180R will probably last like 4-ish years, and then they'll come out with like a 190R or something. The CS3 is probably like a 2 or 3 year project. As well as the LV2, it's like 3-ish years maybe before we see another one. So I would be kind of surprised. I know that they just had that trademark. They just like registered a trademark for the Geo5R or the R5. I don't know. They just did a trademark for the new Geo. If it comes out, I mean, I would be still surprised if we see a new Geo, though. I think the Geo4 wasn't that good. I didn't like the way mine shot, and it just kind of muddies stuff up. It was always weird to me, right? I mean, they have two high-end guns that are practically the same thing, right? So if we think back to like the Geo4 and like the CS2, they were almost the same gun, right? I mean, they technically have different bolts, but you know, ergonomics are roughly the same. They're about the same price. They shoot about the same. They look about the same. There's so much similar to it that it was always kind of odd to me to have those guns at the same time. And I still think it would be odd for them to come out with a Geo5 and still have the CS3 available. So I don't know. I mean, I could be completely wrong. You know, it's not like I'd know anything. It's just me guessing. Yep. I didn't really expect the 180R. I thought the 180R kind of shook me a little bit. What about a CS3.1 or an LV 2.1? That's possible. It's totally possible. What would they change, though? What would they change? Because, like, if we think about, like, the Geo 3, the Geo 3 had a macro line, and they went to the Geo 3.1, and they pretty much just got rid of the macro line and put the AT pipe. The Geo 3.5 they, you know, made a quick release bolt. But what would they do if they were doing like a CS 3.1? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know. J Stew Productions says 2 completely different styles of shot, in my opinion, with the CS and the Geo, for sure. But not really. Really, though? You know? Not really. I mean, not really. I mean, they shoot a little different, for sure. I mean, my Geo was, I didn't like it at all. It didn't shoot good at all. And, you know, my CS2 was great. But they're so similar, right? It's like, you know, comparing the CS3 and the 180R, it's like, yeah, they shoot different, but really, like, you know, barely. It's not like the difference between, like, the Tippmann Kronos and, like, you know, the CS3. I mean, those are dramatically different. And I think it just makes it, you know, I think for us, right, like us, like, experienced paintball players, I think we can tell a difference. But I think that for most consumers, it just makes it confusing, right? I mean, because the prices are so similar, it just makes it weird and confusing. You know, it'd be like, you know, Apple coming out with like, well, they kind of do it with the Pro versions of their phones, but that's like the same phone. It'd be like them coming out with an iPhone 14 and like a 13.5, and it was like $200 less. You're like, I don't know what. It just gets confusing. Ben Lawton, the Geo 4 shot isn't as soft as I had hoped compared to the CS series. I thought it'd be closer to the DSR, how people talked about it. I don't know. J-Stew's definitely right. They definitely shoot different. But it's like, I don't know. I don't think it's enough to justify entire different guns. A ShockTech CS3, that would be cool. I'd be down to see a ShockTech CS3. It was kind of like we were, I was saying with the Shocker era. Hopefully, you know, one of the reasons that they made this gun kind of like, we'll say basic looking. It doesn't have a bunch of like crazy milling. I mean, you can just, there's no like good side profile pictures, but you can just see it's really simple. It's very simple compared to the previous Shockers. I mean, the RSX, the XLS, and the AMP all had more intricate and interesting milling. So maybe we will see like, you know, a ShockTech AMP. Nope, a ShockTech era. I don't like the word era. I don't know. I do like how it looks like what was I saying? I like how it looks like the old SFTs though. If they came out with the LV 2.1, I would hope it would have better / slimmer styling to the 1.6. I love the 1.6 style over the 2.0. I think the LV2 needs to go on a diet. Yeah, probably not. I mean, they probably wouldn't do that though, because then they got to change like everything. They got to come out with like new tooling, and they got to redesign the frame, and you got to redesign the foregrip. I mean, that's almost like redesigning the gun. I'm with you though. I mean, the gun, I don't mind it, you know, but I think that I'm with you. Most people don't like the hugeness. It could be like not that much smaller, you know, like 15% smaller or something like that. Somewhere around there. Cade Perry, did you talk about the Force version 2? No, not really, because I didn't see it until like, well, I did in the very, very beginning of this when someone else asked, but not really. It can't. I just saw the pictures of it like moments before the live stream. Let's see if I can. Let's see what we can do really fast. Let's see if I can show pictures. Maybe not pictures, but they had like a little reel on Instagram or something like that. Let's hope there's no audio. There is no audio. Thank you. Force version 2. So yeah, you know, it's not all that much different. I wouldn't get too excited though, guys. I don't know what that shot was though. Maybe it was just a new angle on the foregrip. So apparently, I don't know if they've said this or where it says this or whatever, but probably nowhere, I don't know. I've heard that it's essentially the same gun. So along the way, Field 1 have kind of updated the force. There's been like rolling changes in production. So they've replaced a few materials. They've, messed with some O-rings a little bit. There was I don't know what they call it, but there was that brass piece inside the bolt. It's now aluminum. They added like some hex key stuff, so it's getting off or taking apart the bolt is going to be as easier now than it was when it was originally released. So it's going to come with all those parts. It's going to come with like the updated force parts that a lot of people already have if you bought a gun recently. So that's the main thing they're going to change. And it has new milling. So it has new milling. It's apparently like, slightly lighter. But really we're just looking at new milling. So it's not like a, crazy huge change or anything. Can I actually like this? Wow, yeah, look at that. The Force version 2, I really like the Force. I think that they're made very, very well. I like the way they shoot. I like the way it feels in my hands. So that's about all. It's not like, anything super crazy. The G7R or the G7. Which one, those are two separate things. Cooler marker. Shocker era, Force, or maybe a new Lux. Which would you rather? Well, I would probably rather own. Actually, I don't know. I historically have hated Shockers and hated Luxes. But they've gotten so much better, the quality on those guns is better. They're considerably more reliable than they've been in the past. And I don't know. I think that if I had to choose now, at least, between the Era, the Force, and a TM40, I would probably choose Force. Old Soul? I would probably choose the Force. But I'd really like to see a new Lux, too. The Luxes have been, growing on me these last few years. Yeah, because the main thing, I just didn't like how they shot and they weren't reliable enough. So I would like to see a new Lux. I don't know what they're going to call it, though. They're probably obviously not going to call it like a TM50 or anything crazy. So I don't really know. We'll maybe have to see. I don't know. I still think there's a new Lux coming out, and I don't know when we're going to see it. I mean, they obviously, released the amp. Not the amp. They released the Era. We're not. No tickets to the Era tour. Is the Era tour? Is the Era tour that one tall chick? What's her name? She's like this tall. No, she'd be like 7 feet tall if that was that. What's her name? Taylor Swift? Is that Taylor Swift's thing? Yeah. I don't know. I really think there's going to be a new Lux though. I mean, maybe we'll see it in a couple days here or something. Maybe a couple days before whatever. Shocker should have named it the Volt. Why? I like that name more than the Era. The Shocker Volt. I like it. Why Volt, though? You said they should have named it that. Why, though? I like it. I like it more than Era. Oh, I get it. Shocker Volt. I gotcha. Like electricity. Oh, that's true. They named it the amp, huh? I never even put that together. There was the amp, the volt. They should come out with like the ohm. Huh. Awesome. Good job, Chris. You're on it. J-Stu, I would not be surprised if DLX/SP, shocker people, went with what Eclipse is doing. The Era is the new Lux, will probably shoot very similar like the 180 and CS3 lineup. Yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering. That's kind of what everyone kind of thought. We were kind of curious about that, whether they were going to do like the same bolt system in all the guns, right? Kind of like Eclipse are doing with that Gamma Core, how we have like 8 versions of the Gamma Core. It would be interesting to see them kind of like streamline the guns and have them kind of all have the same bolt system. I kind of like that idea. I like that idea from like a sales standpoint and like a marketing standpoint, because it's really easy, right? You can be like, you know, they've got the same bolt roughly, so they shoot just about the same. But if you want like all the upgraded features and stuff, you got to get a Lux. So the Lux is going to have, you know, yada, 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 all these things. But it's going to have a very similar bolt system. I think that makes it easier for consumers to kind of like decide what products to buy. It definitely makes it easier to explain things. Because you got to think that like when you're talking about explaining like a Lux and a shocker, it's like, oh, the bolts are, you know, quite a bit different. So it's a little bit harder. The shocker TSC, the short circuit. They probably wouldn't like that. That's like bad. How about like the shocker electrocution? Nova posted a video about the new pump, did they? Well, we'll find that later. I'm going to make a note of that, though. We're going to go with Nova new pump video. We can't go find that easy. That's like, I bet on Facebook, so it's a little bit harder to find. When will A&S drop their Black Friday stuff? Do you know? Like, when are they going to announce sales or something like that? Yeah. What else we gotta hear do? What else do we gotta hear do? I don't know. Okay, let's find it on YouTube. So, the Nova pump. Let's see here. Let's see YouTube. What are we searching for though? Nova pump paintball. There's that. I don't know. What do you mean by new? Like 3 weeks ago? Yeah, that's not new. Or maybe there's like a short or something. Oh, there's the N4. N3, I don't know, I'm not finding it. It's not going to have anything new, I guess. Because that's the one we've already talked about that one. But I don't know when Black Friday stuff will be announced. It depends on the manufacturers. You know, most of the companies don't necessarily get to choose what their Black Friday stuff's going to be. They kind of get told what it can be. So for instance, someone just said something Virtue. So take Virtue for example, right? Like say like a month ago, Virtue would have emailed or contacted all of their dealers, you know, like A&S or like BFP Gear or, you know, Lone Wolf or, you know, just your local paintball store would have gotten the email or phone call and said like, you know, you can put the Spire 5 on sale for this price, or the Control for this price, or, you know, the Vio Ascend can be this price. And a lot of the times they're telling you like a month ahead of time because they're going to give you a little bit of a deal on the stuff that's, you know, they're going to give you a little bit of a deal for the stuff that's going to go on sale. So that's kind of why Black Friday is a little weird for paintball. You're not going to necessarily get all the stuff. And you're probably going to see a lot of the same deals at all of these places, right? You're not going to get like, you're not going to just go buy a CS3 for $500 off only at this one paintball store. If, you know, for some random reason, Planet Eclipse decided to do $500 off the CS3, it would be at all of the paintball stores. It wouldn't be like confined or, you know, made for only one store. They do that to really help other stores, right? I mean, it's kind of difficult for some of these stores to compete with everybody, so they try to like level out the playing field a little bit, so that you're not getting people like A&S undercutting everybody. You know, they've done that before. I mean, A&S has done that. That's why they couldn't sell Ninja stuff for a while, and the same reason they didn't have Virtue products for a number of years. I think I've been at Virtue stuff for like 6 years or something like that. Chase do. The best Black Friday deals are usually stores that have used inventory. Yeah, or just old stuff too. I mean, there's a lot of stores that, you know, I said that, like, you know, the manufacturers will tell people, you know, what you can put on sale, but that's typically with new stuff, you know, right? If you've got guns that are 10 years old, or, you know, old versions of masks that aren't technically sold anymore or whatever, a lot of the times you can find like crazy deals on that stuff. But yeah, it's difficult. Saucy Bossy. Also, so manufacturers get more money. I don't know how manufacturers make more money. Manufacturers make more money if they have more wholesale, if they have more dealer accounts, you know, because you can like split them up and you're not just selling all your stuff to one person and they don't want one deal on everything. So I don't know if the, I don't know. When we talk about money in paintball, like, I don't know. Nobody's getting rich. I mean, everyone's like not making lots of money. Anyway, I want to watch this. This is just really cool. HK Army Nightball. This is wild. So they released that like UV glow-in-the-dark paintball stuff a while ago, and this is just nuts looking. Isn't that just crazy? Just look at that. It's just so cool looking.
Go, go, go. There you go. There you go. Let's go, baby. This is so dope. Let's go. Let's go, baby.
It's a little too hype. It's so cool. They have like some black lights all around the field so the balls can show up even better. The paint can show up when it hits the bunkers, and it looks really, really cool. I wish that I could partake in something so cool, but there's not a lot of, I don't know where the hell they did this. Probably at SC Village, it looks like, maybe.
There you go. There you go. Let's go, baby.
It just looks really cool. People have asked a lot why make this glow-in-the-dark paint stuff. And hopefully this is a, you know, reason to make glow-in-the-dark paintballs. It just looks really, 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 really cool. I just wanted to show this to people. Just look at how crazy it looks. They like wrote some stuff on the bunkers. All the bunkers are like painted with UV. Like, look at that. That just looks nuts. Although, I don't know. I mean, you can see the paint so easy in the air, you know? It's like, watch when Mark shoots that lane, right? You can see it so good that, like, I don't know. Could you, like, dodge the paint way easier and stuff like that? It's pretty awesome.
Go, baby, go, baby, go. On action.
I just like it. It just looks like having fun. That's what I like. It just looks like lots of fun. If one undercuts them, the manufacturers gets less money. Not really. I mean, they don't like, not really. When I mean like undercut people, it's like, you know, say you bought, you know, a paintball gun that, you know, wholesale or cost is $1,000, and you give the manufacturer $1,000, and I'd do the same thing, right? I'd buy it for, you know, $1,000, and I'd give the manufacturer $1,000. But if you sell it for like, you know, $1,100, but the actual price is $1,400, you'd be undercutting me, but the manufacturer still makes $1,000, right? I could be crazy, but I don't think so. I think that's how it works. You know, I think that the manufacturers in the long run could lose money, right? Because if there's too many, if like ANS Gear, right, is, you know, undercutting all the other stores and dealers, then it's going to put, you know, some of these smaller stores and websites out of business. And then it's going to only have all the, you know, Planet Eclipse or all whoever that manufacturer is only going to be able to sell stuff to ANS. And ANS is going to command a lower price because they, like, you know, are being able to buy it at higher quantity than everybody else because all those other companies are out of business, you know. Yep. Old Soul, I can't imagine how many hours it would take to wash a field down. A whole hyperball field completely after a night game, so it looks fresh every day. Yeah, that's kind of true, though. I was like, we don't do that now, but you'd probably have to do it with all that glow-in-the-dark paint, huh? I mean, because it'd just be everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. Huh. It would be fun, though. I'm all about it. It looks like so much fun. And unfortunately, this year there weren't even any, like, zombie games for me to go play, so it was kind of like... I don't know. What are you saying? J-Stu, something about a V2 Bolt. We're talking about the DLS? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I made that little quick, like, if anyone saw me shooting the DLS, let's just go over here while we talk about it. What if I go like this? What happens? There we go. That was easy. Yep, Michael Dufort and I. This is gonna be loud. Actually, it's not too loud. Michael and I, yeah, Michael. This is Michael Dufort. Dufort works at Extreme Paintball. And Sac Paintball here in, I can't see, here in Sacramento, and Extreme Paintball in, I just want it 720p. Yeah, Michael works over at, yeah, Extreme and whatever. And he was filming for me and let me shoot this thing, and I don't like the way it shoots at all. And this has the original V2 Bolt. And yeah, people have gotten the version 2 bolts, and apparently some of them don't work. Some of them still have problems unscrewing. Some guys are having guns that still break a ton of paint. I mean, I broke paint with this one, and never break paint. Like, I never break paint. I use the EMEC all the time, CS3, the ETHA 3M, and never break paint, and then broke like 2 balls. I mean, only 2. It wasn't too crazy, but... it's unfortunate that those V2 bolts aren't working or totally fixing everybody's problems. I don't know. They did make a lot of changes. I mean, all the changes I think that I've heard of or I've watched videos on, all the changes seemed to at least attempt to take care of a lot of the problems they were having. But I don't know if they did. I don't know. There's not enough of these guns out there to really say, you know. It's not like there's a lot of people out there using... I gotta turn this video off or I'm gonna be able to hear myself jibber-jabbering. Yeah, there's just not a lot of these guns out there. So it's not like, you know, you go to the paintball field and there's like 10 guys with a DLS. There's not a lot of them. So who knows? Can you do a review on the 180R mech review? You wanted me to review the mech frame review? No, dude, I don't know, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I gotta figure out videos to actually make that people want to watch. Because, like, if we go back and look at some of these videos, like, nobody cares at all. So, you know, I did the CS3 video, and, like, no one watched it. Then we did the DSR mechanical frame, and, like, nobody's watched it. So probably not, honestly. These videos take way, way too much time for me to be doing videos that no one's going to watch. So I really got to, like, be better at deciding which videos to make. I'm not doing the greatest job at it. This is really cool. We can watch this a little bit. So if people have been, you know, you're watching this live stream, or if you're at all on the internet ever, you would know about the Hormesis Elite, the Hormesis 1v1 Elite Tour. And this is kind of... I'm going to mess with some audio real fast. There we go. This is in a crazy, crazy long match. I think they played best out of 3 or something gnarly. I didn't watch this whole thing. But this is not actually the tour, right? This is someone else did this. I think this was at Kansas City Paintball. Kansas City something, I don't know. In Kansas City, and you have Todd Boyer versus Blake Yarber. Blake Yarber, Dynasty player. You know, Blake, very, 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 very good. And then Todd Boyer actually took second at the grand finale recently to Tommy Greenleaf. This is just really cool to get an idea of what exactly it is, you know. We haven't seen any really long-form video from Hormesis about the tour. I think they released about 2 things, but this is the full match. I mean, you've got multiple camera angles, and you can get a really good idea of just what it actually is. I really like this. I straight up like don't. I would 100% rather play 5-man. This kind of intrigues me. I don't really like playing one-on-ones. You probably should if you actually want to get good at paintball. But I don't really typically like playing one-on-ones. But this does look very intriguing to me. And I do think that if this was presented well, like, you know, if Ghost Sports did it, and it was a dedicated facility maybe for this, they like built a really cool looking like field and staging area and stuff. I think that this could be really, really fun to watch. You know, we often talk about, you know, growing paintball and, you know, how to get more people playing and how to support the industry or, you know, stuff. And I really like this. It's obvious, you know, it's very obvious what they're doing. I mean, one of the problems with 5-man, and if you're not a paintball player, you literally have no idea what to look at. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know who's shooting at what, really. You don't know what's going on. But this is so easy for non-paintball players to watch that I think it's interesting. I mean, you know, it's obvious what they're doing. You know, they're just one guy they're shooting at, so there's not a lot going on. I really like it. I think someone said, what did we say? Someone in the chat said something about Ghost Sports, something, I don't know. Yeah, Ghost Sports also, they had the, Jesus Christ, what am I like? The Ultimate Shootout, which was a one-on-one format, and they had like a center buzzer, and you could hit the buzzer, and I forget what would happen. I really like that format too. I think that, you know, Ultimate Shootout was fantastic. But I really like this field. This field's a bit smaller. And also, it just makes these games kind of quicker. I think HK Army also did a one-on-one thing with like Keith Brown and Tyler, right? I really like it. I mean, you know, I think we should, look at that, running across the whole field like that's gnarly. But there's a link in the description. You guys can go watch this entire video if you would like to. Yeah, I think that we should mess with the format as much as possible. I mean, I think that, you know, in all these other sports, we look at baseball and basketball and hockey and whatever, and I mean, I don't know, maybe they're not changing rules that often in hockey, but they're definitely doing it in baseball and football. Maybe not football, and basketball is what I meant to say. So I think we should try to mess with the formats, right? I think that we don't have to play 5-on-5. Why not more 3-on-3 specific things, or whatever. The more we can do it, and the more we can kind of mess with stuff and make it a little bit more interesting for ourselves. You know, I want to be watching stuff and enjoy it. And also, you know, for newer players, so they can like get a little interested. Yeah. It's just kind of cool. I liked that. I liked how they put that online. I don't really know why or what the point was, but comp paintball, hard question. Okay. Is that where paintball is going at 1v1s? You know, I think so. I mean, me watching it, like, I think so. You know, I think that one of the things that, like, makes it difficult, you know, I think that one of the things that makes paintball hard is, or I don't know, let me think about how to phrase this. I think what like makes some sports cool, like I think about like like skateboarding or, you know, basketball even, is that we really know who the players are. And, you know, skateboarding, you know, or if you're watching, you know, other individual sports like swimming or whatever, track and field, I don't know. It's really easy to just watch one player. You know, you can be a fan of one person. Whereas, you know, paintball, you can obviously do that in 5-man. You know, I can be a fan of like Alex Goldman or Tyler Harmon or whatever, and I can, you know, specifically watch those games. But it's a little bit harder to know the personalities of the people and get to know the people because there's so many people, and the Ghost Sports coverage at least is so condensed and so packed in there. It's really hard for us to see new personalities or see like who these old personalities are or whatever. Boyer owns the field. Oh, cool. That's good to know. So I think that like the one-on-one stuff can really like help us make fans of people more and help make like paintball players better known, and we can kind of root for people a little bit easier. So I think that the one-on-one format's also good for that. But I don't know, right? Like, because I know that everyone kind of wants to play 5-man, right? Everyone wants to play like 5-man though. So while I think like, you know, one-on-ones are really fun to watch and they might make good like footage or video stuff, I don't know if people want to actually play it as much as they do 5-man. But that also could be because we're just like set in this way of 5-man, right? We're not really exploring like this 1v1 stuff. There's no league, there's no like, you know, stuff to do really. So Ben Lawton says, I'd be down for more 3-man. I think 3-man's great for that too, because it's kind of like you're getting a little bit of that, like, we've only got 3 guys, you know, so you could like interview them and we could know who they are more, but you're still getting a little bit of that more like classic paintball where there's like 2 guys to shoot at or 3 guys to shoot at, and you can like do run-throughs and you can still do a lot of crazy stuff, which makes it a little bit more interesting than the one-on-ones. Because you got to think that like, you know, in the one-on-ones, people are going to get snapshot a lot. There's going to be a lot of just like snap shooting and stuff. Whereas we're not going to get like, you know, you're not going to get crazy run-throughs as much as you would in that at least or 3 or 5-man version. I gotta get my water. Yeah. 3-man is awesome for smaller fields. Yep. What's your thoughts on 10v10 speedball? Do you like it or dislike it? Do you think it's too slow or find it interesting? Papa Beans. You know, personally, I like 10-man. I enjoy playing 10-man. I think that, you know, I almost enjoy it more than, you know, 5-man or regular like X-ball or whatever. So I enjoy playing it more, but watching it is harder, right? Watching it's harder because the field's so big and like there's just so many people that it's kind of hard to keep track of. It's hard to keep track of on cameras. I mean, you got to think that if all of a sudden like the NXL went to 10-man and it was all 10-man, the field's huge. So it's so hard to get like actual coverage of the field. You know, they got to put the drone so high in the air on the 5-man field. I mean, it'd be like hundreds of feet in the air to get the 10-man field. And then you wouldn't even really know where people were because it'd be so high. So like I like playing 10-man, but it's very hard for it to compute to like actual watching it. But I also really like the slowness, right? Like when we see 5-on-5 in the NXL and games are really slow, like we're seeing like 4 to 5 minute points, I actually like that. I think that it gives us a time for me to like analyze what's happening and like, oh, you should do this, or oh, you should do that, or I think I would do this, or I wouldn't do that, or, you know, you can analyze it, and it just makes it a little more interesting. And I also really like playing those slower games. I feel that like in those slower games, you know, you're just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and all of a sudden it gets crazy, and it's a lot more fun because it's this like drawn out thing. But I think for, you know, entertainment reasons like Go Sports or Major League Paintball's YouTube channel we were talking about earlier, I think that it's difficult for that. It's for sure difficult for that. Yep. What someone says about ESPN. I remember watching PSP on ESPN, and it was so much more watchable than Go Sports is producing. I don't know, was it? I don't even remember. I really don't remember. It's been so long ago. 10-man is the most fun to play. It sucks to watch unless it's in person. Yeah, pretty much. And then even in person, it's kind of like, it's still so like, you know, crazy. Oh, Moneyball. Do you remember Moneyball? The format that LTZ tried to make. Was it LTZ? Or was it like, there was Evan Money, this guy Evan Money back in the day. He like owned something, he owned some business called like Money Paintball. Man, I don't really remember. I certainly remember LTZ though. I had some friends that played for LTZ for a little bit. Yeah. Damn, who played for LTZ? Alex Avino and... Jeez, I don't know. I'm blanking. I don't know. Hey Brad, your thoughts on the new SP Shocker era? I talked about that. Just rewind it a while. Rewind it to like 15... Rewind it to like 10 minutes in or something like that. Wasn't that an XPSL thing? XPSL, Jesus, you guys. Paxton played for LTZ, yeah. Yeah. Man, XPSL, I don't know. I got like the worst memory ever. So if you're asking me, I definitely don't know. What about center flag or a double flag format? They're kind of trying that double flag format this week, or this coming week at the NXL. They're going to do that 7-3 series, or whatever they're going to call that. 7-3, where you can like score 7 points if you get all the way to the other side into the start gate. Yeah. The Smart Parts World Championships. Yeah, everything's post-production. I mean, Go Sports is live. I mean, they never, I'm like 99% sure Go Sports has been the only live thing ever. Other than like, you know, Paintball Access. I mean, obviously the live things, but I don't think that like anything that's been on regular TV has ever been live. Right? And it's so much harder to do live TV. But that's really what people want. I mean, I don't really want to watch baseball games or a football game that happened like 3 months ago. You know, like, I don't know. I just kind of would rather watch it live. I think that even though it has a lower production value and like the overall thing isn't as good, right? If it's live, right? If it's like edited on, you know, video on demand or something later, you can add all kinds of stuff. But it's just not as interesting. I mean, you know, like this. If I put this video out live, if I put this video out and I wasn't talking to you guys live right now, not nearly as many people would watch it. It's far more interesting because it's live, you know? For sure. Who in this chat is actually going To be at World Cup. Yeah, who's going to World Cup? I'm not, unfortunately. Is anybody going? Probably not. Ian's 15 minutes away and he's not going. So I don't know what you're doing. Why not? I mean, you've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to go. I can't afford it. It's way too much money. I'm broke. I'm doing this paintball stuff for a living. You guys think I can afford stuff? Crazy. Maybe we'll start Patreon. I kind of have Patreon ready. I think for Patreon, I want to do like, I'm going to actually like try to make like unique, special things for Patreon. Some brains. Some of you guys have good names. Some brains is great. Unless you're playing or local, why spend the money? Yeah, I don't know. It depends on who you are, I guess. You know, if you're Bill Gates, who cares? Take your private jet. You know? Yeah, I don't know. I think that obviously for me, like I live in Sacramento, so flying across the country, if I'm not playing or not, you know, working or, you know, doing something, it's not probably worth it. But then, you know, I've also gone to the Vegas tournament a couple times, and I really liked it. You know, just going to Vegas and hanging out. I've never played there. I never played NXL ever. Yeah. And it's just fun to go, right? I mean, like I know people. I have some friends that go, and we just kind of hung out, you know, hang out and watch some games for, you know, hang out at the paintball field for 5 hours, 6 hours. We go to dinner. Maybe go out at night and then, you know, go to the paintball field. It's just fun. But Vegas is different. It's different if I can, like, get to Vegas quickly. It's not as, like, far. But it's definitely expensive. I mean, it's a shit ton of money. Last time we were there, we paid, like, $300 a night for, like, Motel 6. Or, like, a travel lodge or some shit. It was insane. It was so much money. Yeah, how are they doing that now? I don't know. Some brand says you have to pay to watch the pro finals. Do they still do that? Do they still have you? Do you have to pay for grandstand tickets? Or is it only on Sunday that you have to pay? Or I don't know how that works. They definitely have that VIP area. You can go like hang out in the VIP booth and stuff like that, which is cool. The VIP area is kind of neat. Well, it's not that great. Anyway, what are we doing, guys? What else we got to talk about? I'm going to save some stuff for next week. Next week, I want to talk about... I kind of want to watch the Smart Parts World Championships. I have that, like, bookmarked here. Virtua PB, Nick Ripple has got a video out. Planet Eclipse released a video. The Force version 2. We kind of talked about that. There's a new pump gun. I'm not going to jinx my team, but I'd like to see Heat take the World Cup. Your team? What do you want, like Dynasty or something? Vegas 2024, March 8th to 10th. Get them hotels booked now. Yeah, we made the mistake of one year. You know, I've traveled like a bunch of places, not so much in these last like 8 years or so, but I always used to like go places and then just book hotels when I got there, because there's so many of those websites that's like booking.com, and like there's other websites that will like end up putting the day of hotel rooms very, very cheap just because they're trying to fill the hotels and sell something, you know. I mean, if it's 2 hours before, you know, if it's like 8 o'clock at night, you know, you're gonna get a hotel room maybe kind of cheap because they might as well sell, you know, cheap tickets. We tried that in Vegas and it totally backfired, and that's when I was paying. We paid like $300 every night we were there. And we were trying to, those like the cheapest places possible. So we spent like $1,000 on hotels in like 3 days. It was crazy. going to the travel lodge, like as cheap as possible. We were going to get a tent and then pitch a tent at the field. It'd have been funny. It'd have been good. J-Stu says, Airbnb is the move in the area, dumb cheap if you can tag along with the team. You betcha. Although I'm going to try to play Vegas this year. We're probably going to play 10-man. Yeah, last time we went, it was just me and my friend Kyle. We spent way too much money. Ben, Brad, if you were designing a team jersey, what colors would you use to differentiate? I'm thinking green and black with orange accents. Too many people are using blue and purple. Well, I would do this. Do this. Let me go back to my browser here. Let's go to Adobe. Whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. I always forget how to spell this. Go to the Adobe Color website. Gee whiz. And this is how you should pick out your team colors. So I would go with split comp. Nah, I'm probably not split comp. I would do a triad. And then I would pick your main team color. Like say you said, what'd you say, green and orange? And it helps you like make sure you get colors that like actually go well together. You could do a 3-colored one. You could do easy straight up complementary colors. When you can see, you could do green and orange. It probably wouldn't look too bad, but it's going to tell you what colors are going to look better together. If you want to do them like that. And analogous colors are how people are doing, like, that's why they're doing like this blue and purple stuff, because that's all going to look good together. Or you could, do, it's hard to go to the yellow though. That's how I would choose a color palette. Man, I don't know. I'm terrible at designing stuff though, so I am not your guy. It'll take me like a month and a half to design anything. So crazy. I was an art major. Well, heck yeah, then you should know that then. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to jerseys all that much. I think about the pro teams, and those are the only guys I'm ever like conscious of. I do design the headbands, and they're awful. I don't like them. I'm trying to get rid of all the headbands. I wouldn't say they're awful, but I'm just like worn out on them. I bought way too many goddamn headbands. So if you want, you guys can go buy some. Let's clean these things out. They're only $30. Look, there's some right there over my shoulder. $30. $30 or $75 for 3. That's pretty good. You could get like 6 Paintball Ruin My Life headbands for the price of 1 Hormesis headband. 6 of them. You could keep 5 and hand out 3. Hand out the rest. You could keep 1 and hand out 5. Yeah. It also helps support this channel. Because without you guys, without like people watching these videos and subscribing, and without people liking and leaving comments and buying merch and super chats and all that stuff, it's the only way this thing's possible is with your guys' support. So whether you're buying, maybe a headband, maybe you're buying barrel covers. Lots of barrel covers on there. Barrel covers are $7 and they're $15 for a 3-pack. Yeah. So if you want to, MLG says, buy my headbands that I personally think are garbage. No, I'm just bored with them. I'm never going to like anything that I make. So it's not like I'm going to be complaining about the way I design and make stuff. I mean, some of them are good, right? Like some of them I don't dislike, but some of them I do dislike. But that's just how it's going to be, right? Anything that you make, at some point you're going to look back and then I don't really like those ones that much. These ones are better. And that's kind of what I mean. They're not like poorly made, that's for sure. This one's all dusty. I had a cat named Dusty. She was gray. Yep. Paintball Ruin My Life headbands. And barrel covers. See, like that one, I'm not really like hot on that one. What is going on here? I got stuff all over the place. Yes. We're getting there. There we go. See, I really like that one. I'm a fan of the Olmec one. I really like both of those ones. But like this holographic one, like I just didn't, it's kind of hard to it's just a little bit hard to read. So I probably could have done a better job with that. That's kind of all I mean. I like that one too. That one's fine. That's the final one. Because we're all gonna die. I should just make death themed. My favorite clothing company ever. Oh gosh. Well, maybe not ever, but is Actual Pain. I don't know their website off the top of my head. Actual Pain. This is probably my favorite clothing company. And they just have like cool shirts and stuff. I don't really know the context of that, but I really like Actual Pain stuff. So I think if I was to design clothes, it would be something like this. But I don't know how like popular or cool that would be within Paintball. Like this is really cool. Death is not the end. I really like Actual Paint clothes. Anyway, I don't know what the hell we're talking about. So does ZZ Top? Dusty Hill. I don't know. Is that a ZZ Top person? Dusty Odell. Didn't the Odell brothers? Weren't there brothers? Devin Odell? Was it Devin and Dusty? I don't know. Alright guys, I don't know what the hell to talk about. We're trailing off, so we're going to cut it out. I'm going to go, I think meet someone at sushi. What time is it? Oh, yeah, I got an hour. Hey, all. Hello, Connor Johnston. Although I don't like that T in your name. Get rid of that T. Connor checking in from Paintball Athlete Clothing in Australia. What? Well, hello. I know I've heard that company. I was like, what's that? I don't know. Chinese? No, I don't like Chinese food. We've had that talk before. I don't know. Something about Chinese food. Quality is just not what I'm digging. Alright, guys. Well, I'm just going to go. There's definitely a video coming out. It's already on YouTube, but it's not like live yet. There's going to be what to wear playing paintball for new paintball players to see kind of what they should wear. And there'll be some more stuff. We might film at the field next weekend. I think that this weekend, I think I'm going camping at the coast. We haven't really, not this weekend, next week. That's like next weekend. Oh shit, never mind. My days are all off. Why did I think that I keep thinking World Cup is this weekend. So maybe I will play the paintball field this weekend, and then next weekend I will not be. Thanks for the live stream, you betcha, buddy. What happened to paintball shop you owned? I don't know. That's a good question. Let's find out. I really don't know. Let's find out really fast. Let's see if we can find anything about it. Predator Paintball. I know it's like location shit. Like, alright, I get it. Temporarily closed. I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. I think that it's like closed forever or something. I don't know, honestly. Yeah, because I mean, I worked at this store for a very long time. This paintball store opened in Sacramento in 1988. Oh, they're by Denios now. I can't see the Street View guy. I want to like... Can I see it from this? Can I see? Oh god, they're definitely not right there. Well, that's like an actual location in like a decent little shopping complex. You know, honestly don't know what happened to Predator Paintball. I mean, I owned the store for not that long. I owned the store for maybe like 5-6 years and sold it to somebody else, and then they sold it, and then I'm not sure what happened, you know? I am not sure. We're investigating. I know that, like, I thought that some, like, church group or something like that bought the store. I don't know how to use Yelp. Where's, like, the most recent, newest first? Elliot's Barber Shop. That was the logo I designed at least a long time ago. I wouldn't have put it in a circle like that. This was not my storefront either. This store totally moved. Dang. Look at all these freaking reviews. Not so great. Those ones are good. Anyway, I don't know. That's a good question. We're, don't know. Yeah, the store, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of disappointing because the store was like, you know, it was a big deal. I mean, it was one of the first stores in California. I mean, it was one of the first paintball stores. It was owned by O. Pollock. O. Pollock played for, oh my god, I don't know. O was a very famous pro player in like the late 80s, maybe, yeah, late 80s, early 90s. Kind of a paintball legend, really. And it kind of sucks that the store's just sort of gone away, you know. It got handed from him to somebody else who cared. And then it was handed to me, somebody who cared. And we kind of both kept doing a good job-ish, you know. It was still around. And then, I don't know. I sold it to somebody who ran it into the ground. And then they threatened to sue me when I was going to go work at another paintball store. So I sold, let's just talk about that. I sold the store, and then like a year and a half later, my friends opened a store, Sac Paintball, here in Sacramento, sacpaintball.com. Sac Paintball sticker right there, you can't see it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, then I worked at their store once a week just to do something, to do. I helped out and just worked there once a week. And when they found out that I was working there, they threatened to sue me. And they not threatened, they told me they were going to. They didn't. That was Ben and Bobby Krulin, owners of NorCal Paintball in Vacaville. They owned Ballistic Ben's paintball games. I don't know. Anyway, I don't think I've ever talked about that. I love Ben and Bobby. They're fantastic. So it was kind of heartbreaking when they were like gonna sue me. I was like, really? Like, okay. You ready for this? Anyway. Alright, guys. I'm leaving. Come back next weekend. I appreciate everybody so much. If you liked this video, if you liked the live stream, subscribe to it. No, not that. You might be doing that. Like the live stream. There's also the Ruined Eclipse channel. If you search Ruined Eclipse on YouTube, it'll find the Eclipse channel, so you can watch some clips from this. I'll definitely put some up. We're definitely going to put the NXL one up. Probably tomorrow. Yeah, that'll go up tomorrow. We're going to put the Shocker one up. There'll be some clips on there to try and, I don't know. watch clips. How long have I been around? Paintball. I started playing in 2001. I think. Yeah, 2001. All right. Keep it real, guys. I appreciate everybody. You're freaking awesome. Make sure to get a good night's sleep and drink a lot of water.